Puvama's journey is one of grit, determination, and resilience. With multiple medals at the Asian Games and Commonwealth Games, she is a vital member of India's relay team. She's made her mark on the international stage with speed and spirit. Even after facing challenges, including a suspension, she's made a powerful comeback in her mid 30s. An inspiring reminder that age is just a number and passion knows no limits. Beyond the track, Puvama is a beacon of hope and motivation for young athletes across the nation. Today, she joins us to share her incredible journey, valuable advice, and her vision for nurturing future sports talent. Welcome, Puvama. It's such a pleasure to have you on the edX Live podcast today. Thank you for joining us. So, Puvama, before we jump into the questions, can you tell me a little bit about yourself for our audiences?
I'm MR Puama. I'm an Arjuna awardee. I have represented at Olympics 2008, 2016, and 2024, and an Arjuna Award recipient in the year 2015. So I have won multiple medals in Asian Games and Asian Championship. So currently, I'm working for ONGC department as an HR manager. So at continuing my sports career.
Thank you. So, now you've made a remarkable comeback after everything that stalled your career. What motivated you to return to the track at your age?
Actually, in the year 2021, the Olympics was the main target, and I was already the capable athlete. The team had qualified for the mixed relay. So I was about to be in the team, and I was one of the member because in the trial at the Federation Cup, I was in the top two. So it was sure that I had to make the team. But because of the doping scandal issue, I couldn't make it. So it is a long story. I wanted to make a comeback because for me, sports is like a I'm addicted to it, so I can't give up. So my parents and my husband they supported me very well because once that situation happens, everyone will be demotivated. So they are the one who motivated me and made me a comeback. And my husband trained me when I was in Pune. My coach Gelina, who was at the camp, was sending me the program. So altogether, everyone's support, I could give a comeback. So it was very important because I'm such a stubborn athlete. I don't want to give up. Since that Olympics went away from me, I wanted to be in another Olympics. So I made it, and I'm very happy that I've made a very good comeback at this age.
Absolutely, and that's an incredible feat indeed. Now, after facing challenges, how do you stay focused and positive during these times where things are not exactly going your way?
No, actually, I didn't have that mind to continue. But one side, I was thinking, like, I think I can do a comeback. It is only 3 more years. But when everyone think that 3 more years, really a very good gap because after a doping ban of 2 years without any competition, it's very difficult to make a comeback. But the planning was like that. My coach and my husband, they planned the program in the way. I used to run many 400s in the practice itself. So I should not make a gap from it. Once we lose the touch from it, it's very difficult to make a comeback. So because it was a provision suspension, I could until the ban would have announced, I could compete in the competition. So I didn't give up and I tried competing how much possible. So that everything made it possible.
Absolutely. So, now competing in the Sri Lankan National Championships, after your return, it must have been emotional, right? Can you share what that moment felt like for you?
First at the beginning what I want to like I'm not told in detail about my doping situation. February 18th they had taken my urine sample, so it was tested positive. Even now I'm not able to know that what has exactly happened because February 19th they had taken my blood test, that was negative, and again February 24th there was an urine sample, even that was negative. Only this was the thing which was positive. So even until now I couldn't make out what had happened. Past is past. I don't want to recall about it. People keep saying a lot, but many people who know me, they know like it was unintentionally. So after that, I had got a 3 month ban. So then the appeal panel they extended to two years. So but they had not mentioned the date of the exact like from when I can start. But usually it should be from back date. So then I thought it would be from back date because we had sent several mails to NADA about it, but they didn't respond. So then we assumed as it is from back date. So the back date got over before the Sri Lanka competition. And I was very excited to do that competition because I was waiting to come back and run on the track. what had happened is before the Sri Lanka meet, 2 3 days before, I had a severe fever. So even though because the ticket everything was booked to the place Sri Lanka and I had to compete, I couldn't do well, but I was happy that I could make a comeback from there. So then after that, since I had competed in Sri Lanka, they sent me a notice again. The ban period was not over. Again, they had extended the notice because before that AFI had sent a mail to NADA like who are all eligible for the competition. So my name was there. I'm eligible for the competition. So accordingly to the rules, I had been there to the competition. It was not like I had been against to that. Then after that, they had sent me a mail. Then we went to the Kerala High Court because they had asked me a reply for why I had competed there. I had explained them, but they didn't agree for that. So I had been to the Kerala High Court. So the judge and the lawyer was very supportive and they fought and I got the ban period from the back date. So this is all what happened.
I'm sure, yes. So, being a senior member of the relay team that qualified for the Paris Olympics, what was going through your mind during that achievement? What were you thinking about?
Yeah, because in the year 2008, I was the youngest member in the team. So that time it was like being an Olympian athlete is a great achievement. It is everyone's dream in sporting career to be an Olympian athlete. The age of 18, I had been there. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm an Olympic. But after going there, seeing athletes winning medal, and in the year 2012, I wanted to make a team, but our team didn't get qualified, and I was injured with my back disc bulge. Even in individual, I couldn't get qualified. So then I waited for next 4 more years. So 2016 we came back. Even that time we were almost the senior athletes, all Tintu Luka, myself, Nirmala, everyone. So we made the team in the 2024. I was one of the main, I mean, the senior athlete. Everyone were 10 years junior to me. So nowadays athletes are very cooperative, and we were like a team, and we wanted to give a good timing. So we couldn't achieve what we had planned because on that day, on that situation, anything can happen. So we can't blame anyone.
So, Puvama, we believe that success is not just a product of one person, it is of everyone supporting that person as well. And you've often credited your family for your success. So, how do you think they supported you and shaped your journey as an athlete from the beginning to now?
Yeah, because of them, when I started my sportsing career, we were in a place where there was no stadium or no coaches. So my dad, he shifted to the place where I could get all the facilities. So he should have gone up and down. He went like he was on the work in the Bangalore airport, so he used to go up and down for the work. And I know it is very difficult, but for their children, he has done a lot. And my mom, even until now, she's traveling with me for every competition. She has not missed any of the competition. And even my brother, he's an athlete. He was interested in sports, but he got injured. His knee got surgered, and he motivated me that you can do it. Even when I had a problem in the year 2012 with the disc bulge, I didn't wanted to tell my parents about the situation, what I was suffering, because they will be tensed. So it was him whom I had told everything. I was very demotivated. I thought of quitting sports because it was a very major injury. So he was the one. He told, you do how much you can. We'll see. If you can come back, okay, good. If you can't, okay, no problem. Just work hard. We'll see. So then I came back, won medal at the 2014. Then my sports career continued the same. And 2021, I got married. Everyone after getting married, they think about it, having a family and everything. But my husband, he knows how much I love sports because even he's an athlete, international athlete. Everyone knows how much I'm very passionate to sports. More than that, he knows it. So even everyone when they told like you're already 34, you need to plan the family and everything. So he was the one. No, till when you want you do sports, let them tell what they want. I'm there for your support. Even my parents supported. Every parent's dream to have a kid to see their grandchild. So it was very difficult to make them understand, but we're trying to get into it. I'm planning to do till Asian Games. We'll see how it goes. I know I'm already getting older, but for me, age is nothing. I know I have clocked a good timing, which I used to clock at the age of 24. So even after 10 years, I'm clocking the same time. So I'm pretty sure I can do the same timing even for the next upcoming competitions. So hoping for the best.
Age is indeed just a number, and if we have enough passion and discipline for what we do, there's nothing that we cannot achieve. And that being said, what advice would you give to young athletes who look up to you and would say that they want to pursue a career in sprinting or athletics? Any words of wisdom?
What I can say is they need to be focused. No matter success and failure is part of life. You can win or you can lose, but when you lose, you should make up your mind, see where the mistakes are, try to overcome it, and keep working on it, and just have the discipline and hard work. It is everything what it matters. Now, when we used to do sports, there was not much support, but now there are a lot of sponsors. Even the government is supporting very well. Khelo India scheme, and there are even the diet allowance. Everything has been increased when compared to the time when we were doing sports. So all the support is going on well, and the main thing what they have to do is just keep focused. Don't even think like at the very first attempt you have to win a medal or you have to win a national medal. It is very difficult. Even I have won, lose at the beginning. Even I have not won the national medal or state medal. It was just the beginning. So just keep working hard, no matter what. It will be your hard work will surely pay off.
Those were wise words indeed. So, are there any particular habits that are most important for someone who is aiming to compete at the Olympic level? I'm sure there are a lot of particular things that need to be taken care of, right? So, anything particular that you'd like to mention?
It depends upon the athlete how they take the sport. When I had been to Olympics, 2008, I was very young, so it was like only I had to be to the Olympics. It was like already I am into Olympic. That mindset was different. So after that, when I got experience with every international competition, we need to be focused, like physically, not only on the track, but outside the track, whatever the sleep pattern might be, and the food what we eat with the dietitian. And now there are a lot of psychological experts also. You can consult them if you're very scared to be on the track or compete with the opponents. Even I have faced a lot of things. It's common with every athlete. It is not like all the athletes are very strong and they can face all the opponents. So it's very difficult to face them. Just be focused. You're running on your track. Just be focused on your track, what race you're running. Just keep in mindset what timing you have to clock. No matter who is on your left side or who is on your right side, just keep focused and just run your race. What you have worked hard, the timing will show.
Thank you for that. You know, there are a lot of kids who want to pursue sports as a career, but of course, education plays a big part in their lives. Now, anything you would like to say in terms of advice for maintaining both, your academic and your training? How would you balance those two?
Yeah, even I am a graduate. It is difficult to balance both. But if we have that positive attitude, you can do it. Because when I used to do sports and academics, we had that permission to come early to the ground. And even now, everyone is having that facility. And there are the facilities of grace marks in some states. So if they compete in national level or international level, they have some grace marks for their results. And there are sports quota jobs. There are so many athletes pursuing their education. When we compare to the other countries, the Olympic medalists are pursuing their education even now. Some are psychologists, some are into engineering, some are into medical. So when they can do it, why can't we do it? So it depends upon how we take the, like maybe the sports or the education. If we want to pursue both, it's depend upon us how we can make into it.
Thank you. So, Pulma, tell me, can you give us a glimpse into your daily routine, especially when you are training or from the beginning of the day to the end? What is your day like?
It is nothing like a very strict diet or a strict pattern have followed. 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock will be the training, then come back, have breakfast, have a quick nap, then have a lunch, then go for the evening training, come back, have dinner. So it's a common schedule. It is nothing like to do the sports, we have to continue some strict schedule. If we are into that strict schedule, it's very difficult to be mentally strong. If we have that normal schedule, our life will be the same normal, because when we quit sports, it'll be very difficult to accept it. So even now I'm not able to think about the retirement. So my mindset is still the same when I was at the young age. Even now I'm the same mindset. I have not planned at anything because I'm still into this sports. So I have not thought anything about it. I have that in my mind to have an sports academy. So if state government will give and support and everything, because by myself I can't do anything. We need that sponsors, we need that support from the government or all the sponsors, then only we can do it, because by my individually I can't plan everything. There are so many good athletes in the rural areas, because in the cities they have all the facilities, but in rural areas they need to have that facilities. So once I get retired, then I will think slowly. It takes time to plan everything. So at present, I'm focusing on my sportsing career.
Thank you for that. And my final question to you is in the landscape of sports right now, what do you think can be introduced to support younger athletes? What do you wish was different in the sports landscape? And what could you suggest would make it better?
Everything is good for the young athletes because when we used to do the sports, there was not much support. But now there are so many sponsors and government support. There are so many schemes, and the AFI is supporting the team, and the team is going out for the competition. They're taking part there. So they're getting lot of exposure. So all these are key components for an athlete. So there are a lot of good facilities now. So I don't think anything need to be improved.
Now, before we wrap, I just wanted to ask you for a few words of advice or inspiration for our younger athletes and everyone listening to this podcast.
For young athletes, what I want to say is keep working hard. That is what all matters. No matter you win or lose, it is part of the sports life. So keep working hard, have a positive mindset. And for parents, what I want to say is allow your kids to take part in any extracurricular activities. It keep them physically and mentally fit. Nowadays, the children are totally into the addicted to the phones and everything. So keep sending them to any games which they prefer, so it will keep them really mentally and physically fit and get away from all those. Once they get tired, they'll come back and sleep and no need to get into all those phones and everything. So it will keep them positively strong to work hard. So this is what all I want to say. And for future athletes, age is just a number. Keep working hard, consistency in all what it matters. So I wish everyone all the very best. I wish many more Olympians come from our country, from our state, especially from the place where I was there, from Bangalore. So I wish everyone all the best.
Thank you so much, Puvama. It was such a pleasure having you here. That was MR Puvama, a truly inspiring athlete sharing her incredible journey, resilience, and the valuable advice she had for young athletes and dreamers alike. We hope her story motivates you to push past challenges and keep chasing your goals. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.